to me then, I bet they feel me now. Don't let me lose it. The booth not about to prove it. I set goals and pursue it. You the best to never do it. Invest my money talking fluent, stupid, ducking the Judas. It broke my heart, but open my eyes. You have no honor, I have no choice. Chasing the commas till I'm gone. I've been left for a minute. On my way home, mama, I promise, got caught up in it. Damn. Everybody eats when I'm batting at the plate. First, second, third, home, $1 million babe.
What's up, people? We back.
Hotep Jesus. I love that guy. He's terrific.
Come on here. Come on here. Put me center. Put me in the center. Put me in the center.
That Hotep Jesus dude.
What's up, chat? Shout out to my members. You know, we got members on this channel now. I don't know if you guys knew that, but now you can unlock exclusive emoji on this channel. Angry Uncle Hotep, angry Biden, angry Trump, and angry AOC. I still have yet to add angry angry Hotep Jesus. So shout out to all my new members. If you're a member in the chat, go ahead and spam the chat with the emoji. Yo, August 25th to the 27th, I'll be in Austin, Texas. I'll be in Austin, Texas with the Syscoin team. Oh. I just actually got a text message here from Patrick and the Syscoin team as we speak. Great things are going on down there. Shout out to Heather Harnett, Smart Money Chick. Smart Money Chick TV. Shout out to Kay. Appreciate y'all. Kay sent me some good information today on Super Mario Brothers movie and all the fiasco going down with that. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the Dalai Lama. We're going to talk about Riley Gaines. Got a little bit of controversy happened over the Jesus Resurrection weekend. So we're going to dive into all of that and more. And then we're going to open up the phone lines, 202-596-5631. Write that down for when we open up phone lines, 202-596-5631. We're going to dive into today's program, Super Mario Brothers. This is not something I expected, but hardly surprised that there's commotion over. At first, I just dismissed this as, the right being reactionary, et cetera, et cetera. But you know me, I like to think about things holistically, give people the benefit of the doubt, and really see things through and think them through. And I gave this topic some thought. And I said, you know what? I will cover this topic today. It's especially great for a grifter like myself, who's going for Grifter of the Year. You can go vote for me at grifties.com. Let's extend it a little bit more. You guys can see the credits to the channel. So this comes from a channel by the name of Midnight's Edge. Shout out to all my Rumblers. We're Hotep TV on Rumble. If y'all want to get in tune, go to Hotep TV on Rumble. We got the people over on Rumble tuning in right now. Let me refresh so I can see those good people over there. All right, cool. Wait, is it? Oh, shit. Damn, my bad. Rumble, I didn't take care of y'all. Hold on, I gotta set Rumble up. Oh, whoa. Holiday weekend got me out of practice here. All right, that should be good. There we go. All right. So Rumblers are good. Now let's go to the tape.
Our friend, peer and Hollywood insider WDW Pro broke the scoop that early in the scripting stage, distributor Universal and production company Illumination, Hollywood incumbent
Illumination. If you eliminate the O and the N, what does that spell? Does that not spell Illuminati? Don't go running with that. That's a very that's low hanging fruit here. Don't go running around and saying, "Oh, Illumination is Illuminati." Don't say that. It's just a joke, people.
both of them tried to infuse the movie with modern Hollywood sensibilities. By which I mean, the movie was really about Peach. She was to be the ultimate girl boss.
So I guess Super Mario Brothers licenses their film out or their brand out, and then Hollywood and some production house would come in and handle the writing and directing, etc., etc. And they wanted to make Princess Peach, the protagonist.
The movie,
which sort of falls in line with the feminist movement, but we're going to talk about how the feminist movement has completely fallen off when we talk about Riley Gaines later.
Was to revolve around her, and in being a male, Mario was to be an incompetent and inept buffoon that would spend the entire movie being rescued by her several.
So again, this is the humiliation of the male, that the quote-unquote woke left practices. Really, it's to make men seem weak. We've seen this with other superhero films. What's the one with the family and they wear the red and black superhero costumes and everybody in the family is super or whatever? It was really weird because the black dude's like really huge and big in that movie, and he's completely frightened. And then the woman takes over the steering wheel in that one scene. I was watching this with the kids, and I'm just like, what? Oh, I see what they did there. So obviously reducing masculinity. Let's continue.
Several times over. As such, the brother dynamic with Luigi and every other aspect of the script suffered. However, as reported by WDW Pro, this was when Nintendo stepped in and demanded that production company Illumination change the script in order to make Mario the focal point and the ultimate hero. And
I mean, if we remove political bias from the conversation completely, how do you take Mario and try to flip it? Like, stay on brand. I would want, if I was the creator of Mario, if I was Nintendo, I would want the movie to reflect the game. The guy Mario and Luigi, Yoshi, etc., go on a quest to save a princess who was kidnapped by King Koopa. Just stick to the script. It's all laid out for you. They've shown tremendous amount of success from the video game. Obviously, it works. All you have to do is make the movie adaptation. Like, how hard could this be? So even if we remove political bias that may occur in Japan, at the end of the day, you're not on brand.
that Luigi be given his moments to shine as well, because the brand is called the Super Mario Brothers and not Super Peach. Before giving my take on what Nintendo's intervention did for the movie, let's see how the establishment critics, here represented by Grace Randolph, took it.
I have never seen an Illumination misfire this bad. In fact, I don't think they've ever misfired. This is not only the worst movie they've ever made, but in my opinion, the only bad movie they've ever made. And maybe what's different here? It's because Nintendo was so involved creatively, as you can see from the credits when you watch the movie. I guess it doesn't always work out like with The Last of Us.
Wait a second. Wait a second. God forbid Nintendo be involved in the creative process of their own concept, of their own brand, of their own game. God forbid. Why wouldn't Nintendo be involved here? Why would you exclude Nintendo from having creative control or say so in the project? Why would you do that? Unless they were getting in the way of your agenda to wokeify. Now I'll come back to what I was saying before about, I think the right, likes to take things and politicize it. This movie is supposed to be for the family and kids. And then when I thought about that, I said, aha, maybe it's not a bad idea that they're bringing light to this because we're protecting children. And that's very important. Hotep Nation is a nonprofit organization, and we specialize in supporting the homeschooling community. So we're right in the same line of thought of protect children, empower children, and protect them. So why would they want to wokeify this cartoon? Thank God for Japan. Thank God Nintendo's a Japanese company, because if it was an American, they would have ruined Mario. Now, another thing that happened in regards to this story is the success of Mario. People have said that the success of the Mario movie is because of its anti-wokeness. Now, I didn't see any proof of anti-wokeness. I saw an absence of wokeness. Keep in mind, I did not see the movie, but from the clips and what people are telling me, people who saw the movie telling me there's no woke stuff in it, and I couldn't imagine why you would need to implant any woke stuff in this. But the success of the movie, I think, doesn't have much to do with that. I think that if the movie bombed, you could blame it on wokeness, if there was wokeness in control of this. But I think the movie did well because it's Super Mario. I mean, this is arguably the first popular video game. And we can go back into Atari, Pong, Centipede, and all those games. Yeah, I get that. But Mario and Nintendo took the world by storm. Became one of the largest brands. Nintendo is still here today. That came out in like the 80s when it came out, the first Super Mario game. Became super popular. I think that has more to do with parents having nostalgia and children being exposed to the Nintendo brand. And Nintendo prides itself as the family brand. You don't get blood and gore on Nintendo. That's the drawback for adults playing Nintendo. You're not going to get blood and gore on Nintendo. It's a family system. It's a family company. It's a family brand. It's mostly for kids, and that's why there's no blood and gore and cursing in Nintendo video games. I think much of it has to do with the fact that parents were able to enjoy nostalgia, and children love Mario, and there's a lot of marketing has gone behind Mario. Somebody in the chat said, what? Definitely the longest running video game. Yeah, I would not argue with that. Probably the longest running video game ever. Massive, what am I looking for here? Consistency, titles just released over the years and still being released. So I think that it has a lot to do, the success has a lot more to do with the Mario brand itself and the success they've had over the years. And that's why they really killed it at the box office. And obviously the team put together something really dope, and therefore the thing did well. But I would say that you could ruin it if you added the woke stuff, and we definitely don't want to do that. Jonah Ryan says Screen Actors Guild logo is Janice. Super Mario trailer had occult magic in it. Oh boy. Yeah, when I see the movie, or if I see the movie, I always watch the movies with my third eye, see if I catch anything, because some people don't have the education or exposure to certain symbolism, so they wouldn't know what to look for. But I'm sure if I watched the movie, I could find some sort of symbolism Hollywood snuck in there somewhere. Or I'm sure I could even identify a little bit of wokeness, I'm sure. But the fact of the matter is, when you're going to make a movie. Don't make an agenda. But again, movies are one of the greatest pieces of art that can mold a society, that can mold a nation. Probably the greatest piece of propaganda is movies and music. Greatest pieces of artistic propaganda. And Hollywood's been using it for a really long time. Which reminds me of the story I saw this weekend with the Dalai Lama. Now, when I first saw the headline, I said to myself, there's no way this is real. This has to be some deep fake. There's no way this actually happened. And then I saw the clip. Made my stomach turn of what Dalai Lama had. Now I'm going to put this on the screen, but I'm not going to play the video, mostly because it's disgusting and disturbing. And then we'll look at the apology here. We'll put the apology on the screen, and we'll go through the apology in just a moment. But I don't even want to repeat what the Dalai Lama said to the little boy, because it's very disturbing. So we'll go right into, it says here, a video clip has been circulating that shows a recent meeting when a young boy asked His Holiness the Dalai Lama if he could give him a hug. His Holiness wishes to apologize to the boy and his family, as well as his many friends across the world, and the hurt his words may have caused. His Holiness often teases people he meets in an innocent and playful way, even in public before cameras. He regrets the incident. Well, first of all, I don't know how they continue to refer to this man as His Holiness. There's nothing holy about what I've seen. And I know there's different cultures and they have different ways of expressing this, but I'm pretty sure there's not a place on the planet where what he said was okay. I don't care what tribe or jungle you send Vice News into, you're not going to find anybody saying this is cool. That's my assumption. I couldn't imagine any. And there's a lot of weird stuff that happens on this planet. But the only place I could imagine this stuff happening where people will be okay with it is San Francisco.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Oh my God. So he says here, His Holiness often teases. Now keep in mind, he didn't write this. This is some sort of PR rep that controls his account. I could imagine the Dalai Lama running his own Twitter account. And it says, His Holiness often teases people he meets in an innocent and playful way, even in public before cameras. I don't know what was innocent or playful about what he said and did. You know, it's like him and Joe Biden came from the same planet. You bring kids around him, you got to be concerned. But there's nothing innocent and playful about what the Dalai Lama did. It's so disgusting and disturbing. I can't even play the video clip here. I won't play the video clip here. I refuse to. I absolutely refuse to play the clip. Shout out to Straight White Male News with the angry Biden emoji. Trying to say it so I don't sound like a boomer. But that video was wild, man. That video was wild. And then, you know, all this comes off of the heels of, and again, you know, when I usually do one story, like they're all connected and interrelated. So for example, right, let's go back here and let's go to this. What happened here with Super Mario? Look at the people are saying 96% approval, but Rotten Tomatoes is saying 56%. Why? Because it didn't go along with their agenda? Because you wouldn't allow the agenda to be in there? Like, imagine having this disparity where the audience says 96% great and the so-called experts are coming at 50%. Imagine that disparity. I could see if it was 96, 80, maybe even 75, 56%. So then, you know, I told myself I wasn't going to talk about this. But we have to talk about it because, well, we just can't escape it. And again, it's all tied in together with the whole Super Mario stuff and what we're going to go over later. But I know you guys know this person's face, right? And Bud Light gave this person a contract, right? Playing the woke game. I'm not even going to say the guy's name or her name. I don't know what the pronoun rules are here. Apparently the person still has a male first name. If we can even say names have gender anymore, I don't know. But he's done some Bud Light endorsement. And again, it's just big business, big Marxism. And I'm going to show you in a second how all this ties in. Let's go here, and right here. Let's pull this up. And then we'll open up phone lines 202-596-5631, 202-596-5631. Let's zoom in here. Let's take a look at this. This is wild. I want to make sure you guys can see and hear what it is that I'm looking at. Let's pull this open. All right, cool. So you guys should see it on your screen now. Let's take a look.
Of trying to consolidate a conformity among the American people in opposition to what was called communism in those days. Today it's called woke.
Today is called woke. Communism today, this is this guy, a professor is what people are saying. But communism equals woke is what he says. And I've said this before. I don't know if you guys saw the clip, but I made a clip recently from my video. I think it's 14 things Democrats get wrong or need to do better or something like that. And in that clip, I basically said, if you're a Democrat, you're a communist. And I had some pushback from some people who said, oh, you know, the usual pushback, right? Like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. And the commie bots came and attacked. And then you got some people who say, well, what about Republicans? And it's just like, we ain't talking about that right now. Yeah, I hate that. I hate whataboutism. Oh, what about? We ain't talking about that right now. It's like saying, yo, we spilled some coffee on the ground. And then you tell me, oh, what about the table? The table's dirty. We ain't talking about the table right now. Can we get this coffee off the ground first? Can we clean this mess up? And then we can get to the table? So I hate whataboutism. But again, coming back to my point, democracy, Democrats, leftism, liberalism, all these things align with communism. And you hear this professor right here admit it right now. So let's go into and see what these commies are doing. Where are we? So let's go here. Yeah. And I want to talk about how the right's reaction to all of this. We're gonna go into an Uncle Hotep clip. But let's first play this clip right here. Let's pull this clip up and play this.
Yeah, you fucking transphobic bitch. I fucking see you.
Can you guys see that on the screen? First of all, that's Exhibit A. One of America's finest NASAs. They're always going to pull out a black female or a homo NASA. And they're going to be right on the front lines. They're going to be the front lines of communism. the front lines of Marxism, you're always going to see a NASA there. Let's continue. Particularly female or a homo NASA. Mostly because these people are just emotional, and when you're emotional, you're not logical, and therefore you do dumb shit. So you have that clip. We'll go to now. I have a bunch of clips I'm going to play in regards to this. I want to go through it all. Now, here was my issue with the right's reaction to this. And, you know, they said she was attacked. And then we're going to talk about the Fed, too. I forgot about that. We're going to talk about the Federal Reserve in this stream. I almost forgot about that. So the right said Riley Gaines was attacked. I didn't see that. I'm not saying it didn't happen. They said she was attacked by, they labeled the person as a biological male. I'm assuming a trans woman. But, you know, all the videos I looked at, I didn't see the attack. If anybody has a link to the actual attack where she was physically assaulted, I would like to see that. In the meantime, it's very interesting how the right reacts to some of this stuff, because it looks like what the left does, right? So you'll say something that is contrary to one of the left's opinions, and then they'll label your speech violent speech or hate speech. Or they'll say this language is violence. It exemplifies violence. And, you know, it's just like, all right, that was just a tweet. How is a tweet violent if it didn't call for violence? And I see the right do it where they add hyperbole. And I'll show you an example here. We got Terrence K. Williams, and Terrence K. Williams says, this is kidnapping and extortion. Transgenders and trans activists held a woman hostage and demanded money in exchange for her freedom and safety. Pretending to be women, attacked a real woman named Riley Gaines. She is a swim champion who's against dudes playing in women's sports. They should all be in prison. This is what Terrence K. Williams said. Now, just to give you a little bit of backstory here. Miss Riley Gaines is a swimmer, an accomplished swimmer. She's won several titles. She complained that she was forced to be share the same locker room with Leah Thomas, who was the trans woman's swimmer, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, attack doesn't really mean attacked. Yeah, I don't exactly understand that. But anyway, Terrence says here, this is kidnapping and extortion. I don't know about that. And I understand that when you're an influencer, hyperbole gets more traction, more engagement, gets people to click and watch the video. Let's watch the video here. See what's going on.
To keep things peaceful and
make her lose her flight
and move forward. Okay. Tell her to pay us. Tell her to pay us, and then she can go. $10 each.
Now the guy says, "Tell her to pay us, and we'll go." And Terrence is right in that regard, demanding money in exchange for her freedom and safety. I think he's somewhat right. I think he's somewhat on point with that. Some person did say that. Let's continue.
Because she probably got paid for this shit, so we could get paid for it too.
On a public campus that we attend.
So what's the end goal here?
I want you to take a look and count the amount of NASAs you see. We got right here, we got a homo NASA right there.
So what's next?
So
we can get out.
So they need to
He's holding the pink, blue, and white.
do their job and get around here. We created a path. It's here.
I can't speak to all of you when we're over talking to each other. We're not going to hear each other.
Don't let her hold.
No, you don't have to use. There's a difference.
So what we want to do is maintain what we're doing right now, and as the speaker elicits, we can continue our conversations and choose to keep things peaceful and
Make her lose her flight.
and move forward. Okay.
Now, someone in the chat just said it is kidnapping and extortion. They were charging her for her release. Extortion, okay. I won't argue that. It's probably debatable. Kidnapping, no, they did not kidnap her. We got to chill with that. There's no kidnapping that happened here. She voluntarily came to this location. Could we say that this is a form of extortion? Absolutely. This is not kidnapping. Nobody physically grabbed her and moved her to another location. And when you come to my channel, you're not getting biased. You're going to get a real take. So I'm not running with whatever the right say. I'm not running with whatever the left say. I'm running with what's the truth, okay? You guys want bias? Go somewhere else and get your bias coverage. I'm not here for that. I'm here to cut it straight down the middle. This is not kidnapping. It's not kidnapping. If it is kidnapping, show me the definition of kidnapping that would describe the situation. And I'll capitulate and say, you know what? You're right. You're right. They forced her physically into a room, Hotep. I didn't see that either. I know they cut off her ability to move about, and they might have chosen a different location based upon how the mob commandeered the hallways. But it's not kidnapping. Not kidnapping. It's not, and the thing is, it doesn't help your case to just make up shit. You're better off just telling it like it is and then hammering down on what the truth is, because then people get caught in the details like we are now and arguing over was she kidnapped or not, when really we're not talking about what really needs to be talked about, and that's the violent left, the intolerant left, the weaponizing of kids, college students who need to be in math class, engineering class, learning some skills that'll drive our economy upward. That's what we want to, dial in on. We saw with the Mario situation, they wanted to induce feminism. But we see here, feminism's a farce. I'm going to show you that clip right now and show you how feminism's a farce. And it's really just, I'm just going to pause it on a certain section of video and you tell me, what about this video is feminism? Okay, let's go right here. Let's stop right there. Here we see her and the mob. Riley looks terrified. We're not going to deny that. There's a mob of people. Obviously, we see the cameras, the media's there, there's security there. There's a mob of people yelling and screaming at her. But to me, that does not look like feminism. That looks like anti-feminism. It looks like a bunch of people who hate women. And we said this before, that feminism is actually the destruction of feminism. It's the destruction of femininity. Feminism is the destruction of femininity. And we see that here, right here in this screenshot. What are we at on the likes? Oh, we at 66 likes. Yo, let's get them likes over 100, please. Likes over 100. Hit the like button. Takes about half a second here. Boost the algo. But again, I can say, from what I've seen, I stand with, I would agree with the hashtag. I stand with Riley. I would stand with Riley Gaines. I'm not exactly too keen on lying about the situation. But let's do some more speculation. Riley went to, I believe, the University of Kentucky or some university in Kentucky. Shout out to Trish in the chat. What Trish say? Let me see what Trish said here. That these people are effing insane. The men, and I use that word lightly to participate in these spectacles, are embarrassing. Oh, we're going to go to Uncle Hotep clip. We're going to talk about the men. We're going to talk about the men from Uncle Hotep's clip in just a moment here. But yeah, I lost my train of thought looking at Trish's comment. Hold on, let me master focus really fast. Riley. Oh yeah, okay. So let's speculate here. So she's from Kentucky, went to a university in Kentucky or something like that. How does she end up in San Francisco? I mean, if there's any place that you would want to avoid this community, it would definitely be like, yo, we're not going to San Fran. So now let's do the speculation. Did they go to San Francisco to grift? Because they knew the backlash that would come? And is that good or bad? This is what I want to talk about right now. Is the grift of going to San Francisco good or bad? And was it a grift? I don't know. I don't know who organized this event, who the organizers are. I didn't have time to do that type of research. But the fact of the matter is she was in enemy territory. San Francisco is the Mecca of the rainbow, I would say. At least from the little knowledge I have on the topic. So she went in behind enemy lines. Therefore, the backlash should have been expected. It should not be a surprise to anyone. Right? I don't think anyone can disagree with that. Was it a TPUSA grift? Was this a TPUSA event? Okay. Well, okay. So I'm glad you guys said that. So this is a TPUSA thing. TPUSA is a startup organization by, what's the boy's name? He just did the interview with Tim Pool, and they brought up my name on that show. What's the dude with the big head, man? What's his name? Whatever. You guys know him. Charlie Kirk. There we go. Charlie Kirk. So Charlie Kirk is a brilliant individual. He's a brilliant kid. He's was born into an affluent family. And the kid really knows his stuff. When I had a meeting with Charlie Kirk, he mentioned this title called Rules for Radicals by Saul Alinsky, which I'll be doing. Shout out to Jonah Ryan. I'll be doing a video on that, breaking down the Rules for Radical by Saul Alinsky. In the meantime, get a copy and read it. So when we go over it, it'll ring some bells in your mind. But I'll do a presentation on that. Put some slides together. But he knows about how the left operates. He knows how the left moves. So he's no stranger to this. You got to remember, Charlie Kirk is someone who was touring with Candace Owens. I think they still do shows together. And they were attacked by Antifa and the left on numerous occasions. So he's no stranger to what the left is capable of. So when you take a girl from Kentucky and you bring her all the way to San Francisco, it's no surprise how the left is going to react. So why'd you do it? Why'd you do it? Well, again, it's almost like using leftist tactics against the left. This was, if I'm speculating here, this was a setup. This was an absolute setup. And really what I believe, or I'm speculating, is that Charlie Kirk and the gang said, what we're going to do is we're going to bring Riley to San Francisco. The leftists are going to attack her. We're going to get it on camera, and we're going to make the left look like demons. And it worked. And it worked. I think if that's what happened, it's brilliant. However, for the people with thinking brains, we can no longer look at Riley as a victim of extortion, and some people are saying kidnapping. We have to look at her like, y'all ready for this? The white Rosa Parks. Riley Gaines is the white Rosa Parks, y'all. I don't know if you guys know this, but the original woman who sat on the bus and had issues with segregation was Claudette Colvin, and but she was I think she was dealing with teen pregnancy, so the civil rights leaders decided that she wasn't the right model to really put the movement behind. So they staged an event. They staged it using Rosa Parks. So this is a staged, as I'm speculating here, a staged event. They staged this. Now, if I'm believing that this was a staged event, I can't feel bad for Riley. Now, is there room to feel bad for Riley? Well, let's do some more speculating. Did Riley know she was moving into enemy territory? Did TPUSA give her the heads up? Because if she didn't have the heads up and she had to deal with this and not know what was coming, now I feel bad for Riley because the left attacked her and the right set her up. So in that case, I could feel bad for her. But if she knew this is a staged event, this was staged, this was set up, okay? Then how do I feel bad for her? How do I even take serious the allegations of extortion, although that did happen? We can't say that these people did not practice a form of extortion, in which they did. We cannot say that they did not practice a form of verbal abuse. We cannot say that this woman was not harassed. This is clearly harassment. So there are multiple violations by these leftist protesters, but they were coerced, potentially. Potentially. Now, if TPUSA say, yo, Hotep Jesus, we're going to do a panel on the rainbow people, and we're going to fly you out to San Francisco, I would politely decline. I'd say, you know what? Can you keep me in mind for the next topic in another location? Because I don't want to talk about that topic, and I don't want to be in that location talking about that topic. If I'm in San Francisco, I want to talk about tech. I want to talk about startups. That's what I would talk about in San Francisco. But they wouldn't set me up like this. So now that sets up the play to talk to Uncle Hotep. Now remember that I'm not biased right-wing media. I keep it 100. I tell you exactly what I see. Somebody in the chat said all theater. Hey, that's what I see. I see theater. You're not getting right-wing bias from me. I'm not paid by Conservative Inc. yet.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
But I know how back channel communications happen. And I'll give you an example, a hypothetical example. Organizer of this event says, hey, we're organizing this event in 2 weeks. I need you guys to promote this loud. Make sure the leftists know. They're in their back channel communications. And then they stage this event. Then they say, hey guys, influencers, talking heads, once we stage this event, we'll have content. We're going to get this content to you. Some people are going to get the first. Some people are going to get the scraps. And we need you to lean in on this story on a Monday. So then everybody runs to their Rumble account, their YouTube accounts, their Twitter accounts, and they lean in on this story to vilify the left. Now, is that bad? I'd venture to say no. It's tactical. It's intelligent. We're in the middle of a political war against the left. And if I had to choose between the left and the right, I'm going to choose the left. I'm going to choose the right. That was not a Freudian slip. I'm going to choose the right. My channel is about giving people the education so they can see the world with their third eye. So I'm not here to disparage the right. All I'm here to do is educate people on what's happening. So when they support this, they're not supporting Riley Gaines and his stunt out of emotion. Now my followers, when they support this stunt, this stage stunt potentially, they can do so with their mind, with their logic, and then lean into this story in the way that it needs to be to win this political fight. So I'm not saying the right is wrong for doing this. I'm not saying Charlie Kirk and TPUSA and Riley are wrong for doing this. I just want to educate the people on why and how these things happen. Okay? Now, let's go to Uncle Hotep's video and we'll see how we came to the conclusion that this was staged. So let's go right here. And remember, we got to talk about the Federal Reserve. I'm sorry, sometimes I get a bit loquacious. Reaction PR posted this clip from Uncle Hotep's stream yesterday. We're going to play it in full. It's a 2-minute clip. Get this on your screen, and then we'll play this clip. And let's go.
The white man.
Now, keep in mind, I just called Riley Gaines the white Rosa Parks. Now let's listen.
The white man needs to don the bow tie.
Well, you'll see what he means by bow tie in just a second.
The next time Riley Gaines go to a campus in this great nation of ours, I need to see 200 white men, black tuxedos, red bow ties as protection. That's what I need to see. That's what I need to see. Y'all gonna let these jokers harass your great pogs like that? A world champion pog? Swimming pog? No, I'm not talking about no feds. I'm not talking no Patriot Act. I'm not talking about these feds in disguise with masks on and khaki pants. No, you need to come. The white man need to come in the bow tie. No mask. The FOC, the fruit of Christianity. That's what we need to see.
The fruit of Christianity. I like that bar.
Listen.
For people that, for all the people that don't know, Nation of Islam has a paramilitary arm called the Fruit of Islam. And they're basically like the defense arm of the Nation of Islam. So this is a play on that, where he says that these white conservatives need the fruit of Christianity, for people that are not familiar.
That's what we need to see. Listen, after this event happened, I go online, the Matt Walshes of the world and everybody else. Oh, there need to be arrests made and all this, that, and the third. I didn't even see one of them say, we got to protect Riley Gaines at all costs. I didn't see one person say, we need to hire security for Riley Gaines at all costs.
Now, I'm going to get into that video real fast, but real quick, I just want to address the chat. Smart Money Chick says, Dr. King used the same tactic. There was no coercion. This is their response, their violent response. Then Andre Brown says, not coerced, but set up and egged on. On example, sticking your hand in a bee's nest. Now, what you guys got to understand about me is, like, I say things many times literally. English is my strong suit. I'm fairly decent with vocabulary. And you guys just basically described coercion and said it wasn't coercion. It's coercion. I'll go to Merriam's dictionary right here. Merriam's dictionary says to compel to an act or choice. Now, some people in the chat have said it's a trap. Well, isn't that what an ambush is about? To compel your opponent into the trap? Coercion is a form of manipulation. let me change dictionaries. Let's look up coercing or coerce in Collins Dictionary, because that's Merriam-Webster. Merriam-Webster likes to get a little woke. I don't know if Collins Dictionary has gone woke yet. But it could be subversive coercion, psychological operation, form of coercion. Coerce. So here it says, if you force someone into doing something, you make them do it, although they do not want to. That's how Collins Dictionary defines coerce. And in that sense, I'm wrong. In that sense, if we're using that dictionary, then I'm wrong. There was no coercion. There was no, and the synonyms here they use is force, compel, bully, intimidate. There was none of that. There was some compelling, but I'll admit I was wrong. If that's the definition we're going based upon. So it's not coercion. So let me rescind that. And me being arrogant and saying I'm so great at English, only to come to find out I'm a complete fucking moron. So, Chad, I apologize. You're right. It's not coercion. I used the word wrong. Now, let's address Louis Farrakhan here. And that's why I always check two different dictionaries. I always check two different dictionaries. Always, 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 always. So you get around a good, oh, there's two clips here. Oh, let me play the second half of the clip. Not bad. Hold up.
I didn't even see one of them say, we got to protect Riley Gaines at all costs. I didn't see one person say, we need to hire security for Riley Gaines at all costs. I didn't see none of that. This is why the left is winning. Because when push comes to shove, they ready to put hands and feet on somebody.
Uh-oh.
If somebody's going to put hands and feet on you, you got to return in kind.
Uh-oh.
I didn't see Matt Walsh say we can hire security. I didn't see Ben Shapiro saying we hire security.
Now, pay attention to this part. I'm going to rewind it a little bit. Pay attention.
I didn't see Matt Walsh say we can hire security. I didn't see Ben Shapiro saying we hire security.
Yeah.
But we seen Farrakhan when Beyonce was, when the police said we ain't messing with Beyonce, Farrakhan stepped up to the plate. Did he or did he not?
He did.
Who's the white man that's going to step up the plate for Riley Gaines?
Now,
I didn't
remember what I told you before when I was speculating on all this stuff being staged. Smart Money Check said Oxford to do something by using force or threats, i.e. they were not coerced. Bingo. Correct. A. Cole said first a Freudian slip using and then using coerce wrong. Hotep Jesus for Grifter of the Year. Hey, go vote for me, man. Grifties.com. Oh man, I'm an idiot. So Uncle Hotep says, how come these prominent people weren't calling for protection for Riley Cooper? It's a great question. Remember I told you before, I said the back channels where they let people know, how we're going to use this. Sometimes what you do is you put somebody in a situation where they don't have protection. Therefore, you can have the reaction of the left or whoever it is that you're trying to bait into giving the reaction you want so you can create some news and then use it against your enemy at a later time. This is political war tactics. So that's the reason why there's no fruit of Christianity there. There's no legitimate security there. At least not like the Fruit of Islam would have provided security. You got a few security guards. I saw her there, but Fruit of Islam would have had Beyonce swarmed and escorted into that place with no problems. I was going to read that chat, but we'll get back to that chat in a second. So, it's a very good observation by Uncle Hotep to mention the fact that her security was not sufficient. So being that her security was not sufficient, you have to ask yourself, there are smart people in place that were surrounding this event, and none of them thought to provide the right amount of security, which makes you come back and say, well, maybe it's true that this was a staged stunt, because any person with common sense is paying attention, not living under a rock, reading the room, knows if you're going to go into enemy territory, you might want to bring some security. You might want to bring some security. So that's why I think, this was a politically staged event, which I've said in the past is not a bad thing. I said it just a few moments ago. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. I like this tactic. I like this tactic of, from a political war appreciation perspective. Using a woman to do it, I don't like. Putting a woman in harm's way, I don't like that aspect of it. I feel like the men need to do that. And I know there's plenty of men out there who have done this. But putting a woman in harm's way like that, especially when we know how violent the left can get, at the very least is a bit dubious. Just a bit. Just a bit. Just a bit. I just want to know, was Riley in on it? That's the only thing I'm wondering is, does she know? Now, some people have said she has grown from how many followers? Like 30,000 to like 300,000. So she certainly benefited. This goes in line with the David Hogg, Kyle Rittenhouse, these young kids who, something happens politically, and then all of a sudden they're propelled to the front of the room, and they get a whole bunch of media attention, engagement, followers. And I can see Riley touring off this. This is a great grift for her. This is a great grift. We gotta nominate Riley Gaines for the grifties.com. But this is a great grift for her. She can tour off this. Her career post swimming is probably solidified because of this, at least with the right. She can do some activism. Look at all those NASAs. So, if she's in on it, whatever. If she's not, at the very least, she does gain something. She's gained several 100,000 followers. Let's go to her account and see. Wow, she's at 405,000 followers, 500,000. And I believe previously she was at 30K. It's a hell of a spike. It's a hell of a spike. Trying to look through her account now. She's on a Twitter grift. She's on a Twitter grift, and she gets the game. It looks like she understands the game here. Oh, this was a TPUSA event. Here's a clip of her right here. Somebody's in her face. This is how the left moves. Make sure you guys see that on the screen. This is how the left moves. See that person just all in her face? But I do see the TPUSA, Turning Point USA logo on the back there. This is in fact a TPUSA event. Someone says here in just 2 days, followers on Twitter have gone from 80K to 330K and growing. So she started at 80K. 3s and 8s look the same to me in my memory. And not only is Riley Gaines going to benefit from this grift, but anybody who grifts off of her grift, I believe, is also going to benefit as well. And we talked about this before. The Bud Light guy, gal, whatever. That's the new hot button topic for the right, is to talk about the rainbow community, particularly the T in that community. And you get a lot of engagement for it. Now, I've complained in the past about how I have to cover stupid topics to get people to pay attention to the real topics. And somebody taught me something I learned many years ago. Well, they reminded me, and he said, sometimes when you want a baby to eat the medicine, you got to put it in the candy. So I've got some medicine that I put in today's candy. We're going to dive into that topic right now. And because if I would have made this like the headline, none of you would be here right now, or at least not as many of you. But look at this. Look at this that just came across the Twitter feed April 7th. We have this from the official Federal Reserve Twitter account. It says here, now you remember I did a presentation on FedNow in the past, a couple weeks ago. It says here, FedFact, is FedNow replacing cash? Is it a central bank digital currency? FedNow is not related to a digital currency. FedNow is a payment service the Federal Reserve is making available for banks and credit unions to transfer funds. Now we're going to stop right there and just talk about that. This is why it's very important for people to be right and exact. Because you have many people that saw the FedNow news and they go, oh, that's the CBDC. And if you saw me covered on this channel, I've never called FedNow the CBDC. The Federal Reserve attacks just that point with this tweet. Is this replacing cash? Is this a new digital currency? And they're right. The answer is a no. But you got to remember, the best lies are lies of omission. To omit the things that are the biggest concern. So let's continue now. It says here, the FedNow service is neither a form of currency nor a step toward eliminating any form of payment, including cash. The FedNow service is an instant payment service provided by the Federal Reserve, launching in July 2023. FedNow will be available to depository institutions such as banks and credit unions in the United States, and will enable individuals and businesses to send instant payments through their depository institution accounts. It doesn't say here, but that's going to be 24/7. Instant payments allow individuals and businesses to send and receive payments within seconds of any time, at any time of the day, any day of the year. Okay, there it is. So that the receiver of a payment can use the funds almost instantly. The Federal Reserve has made no decision on issuing a central bank digital currency, CBDC, and would not do so without clear support from Congress and executive branch, ideally in the form of a specific authorizing law. CBDC would not replace cash or other payment options. And this is the tweet I really want to hone in on and talk about, specifically in regards to the Biden administration and what they're saying here in this tweet. So it says here, the Federal Reserve has made no decision on issuing a central bank digital currency. That right there, I'm going to classify as a lie. It's a goddamn lie. They haven't put signatures on the contracts and the documentations and the bills, but they've already made the decision to issue a CBDC. They need to stop bullshitting on that front. Come on now. Now that right there, I would venture to say is an absolute lie. And it says it would not do so without clear support from Congress and the executive branch. Well, they can't do so. Technically, the Federal Reserve can't do that without congressional approval, but we know Congress is a bunch of chumps, so it's going to happen anyway. So now we have to go to, as they mentioned here, the executive branch. So what did the executive branch say? What did Biden and them say? Okay, let's go. Let's pull this up. So hold on. Let me make sure we can see this on your screen. Good and plenty. I'm going to have to readjust this a bit. Obviously, this is menofwater.com. If you guys are not familiar with menofwater.com, I need you to get familiar ASAP. The most important topics, without all the bullshit, are discussed here. Shout out to Kamar. His latest post here is how to pick the best antivirus software. I will be reading that. I wrote something. I have a whole series on homeschooling coming soon. But anyway, let's go back. Let's go here. Let's type in CBDC in the search bar. Okay, here, right here. Biden coin and the cryptocurrency fascism looming over America. And let's go to the whitehouse.gov. Then this is on the screen. Now I have to do this. So this is the White House fact sheet on digital assets. What's mentioned in this document? But now, it says right here. Now let's keep in mind, this was issued September 16th, 2022. And if we come down here, it says right here, the digital economy should work for all Americans. That means developing financial services that are secure, reliable, affordable, and accessible to all. Now, keep in mind that they put this under wokeness, right? They try to sell this as, oh, this is equity for all, you know. Anyway, let's continue. It says, to make payments more efficient, the Federal Reserve has planned the 2023 launch of FedNow, an instantaneous 24/7 interbanking clearing system that will further advance nationwide infrastructure for instant payments alongside the clearinghouse's real-time payment system. Some digital assets could help facilitate faster payments and make financial services more accessible. But more work is needed to ensure they truly benefit underserved consumers and do not lead to predatory financial practices. So you see here, they try to sell it under wokeness, underserved consumers. What? People don't have access to banking. The poor people, black people, minorities, the marginalized. But you see here, they're talking about digital assets. I like that. They're talking about digital assets in the same paragraph as FedNow. And now look, let's continue. It says, to promote safe and affordable financial services for all, the administration plans to take the following steps. Agencies will encourage the adoption of instant payment systems like FedNow by supporting the development and use of innovative technologies by payment providers to increase access to instant payments and using instant payment systems for their own transactions where appropriate, for example, in the context of distribution and disaster, emergency, and other government-to-consumer payments. So this is going to be your UBI and all your other financial assistance from the government. So right here, the president will also consider agency recommendations to create a federal framework to regulate non-bank payment providers. So we saw last week there was I think he was murdered, the CEO or something like that over at Cash App. So that would be an example of a non-bank payment provider. Cash App, Venmo. So this is basically saying we are going to eliminate the competition, and some people have speculated last week that was a part of this, that attack on that individual that ran Cash App, that was part of this. I'm not here to speculate on that, but if you got your tinfoil kufi on, I ain't mad at you. It says agencies will prioritize efforts to improve the efficiency of cross-border payments by working to align global payments practices. This is basically centralization of credit within the hands of the state, communism as laid out by the Communist Manifesto and the 10 planks of communism, and also globalism. Okay. So we see FedNow mentioned in this paper, and this is in regards to what? Digital assets. Digital assets. we go to the bottom right here, and there's a whole section on exploring a U.S. central bank digital currency. There's a whole section on it. This is from whitehouse.gov. This is from the Biden admin. Now, I'm going to say this as a little side point. If Trump wins or a Republican wins, don't be mad when this still goes through. Don't be mad at Trump when this still goes through. Don't be mad at Vivek Ramaswamy or DeSantis or whoever wins the Republican ticket. If a Republican wins the presidential seat, don't get mad when this still goes through, because this is above the president's pay grade. Is what I said on paper? No. No. That's not official. What I said is not official. What I said is speculation. I'm speculating that a decision like this is above the pay grade of the White House and everybody in it. It's a secret cabal of people that run this world, and they ain't in the White House. And they got a lot to do with money. Wu-Tang taught me cash rules everything around me. Okay? So I just wanted to put that out there. I don't want to hear nobody saying, oh, Trump turned his back on us. He issued a CBDC. It was not going to stop it. This was in motion a long, long, long time ago. And we're going to find out this is the most elastic version of the dollar that's ever existed, and that's going to be great. In some ways, it's going to be great for the economy. Inflation will be taken care of, and if there is inflation, it'll be manipulated, which could be bad, or will be bad, depending on who you ask. So in some regards, this does secure the safety of the dollar. I don't know if you like that or don't. I'm an American. I spend $1. I definitely don't want to see the money I worked for destabilized any more than it already has been. But there are implications of control over people using this CBDC. So when we look, man, where am I? Hold on. I got to bring the other thing back. So when we look here, I want to bring that tweet back up from the Fed. Here it is. So when we look here, and the Federal Reserve says the Federal Reserve has made no decision on issuing a central bank digital currency, would not do so without clear support from Congress and the executive branch. They already got it. They already got it. They already got it. In the same memo that came from the White House that mentions FedNow. So they say FedNow, no, we're not issuing a CBDC, and they're correct. This is not the FedNow is not the CBDC as I described it on my FedNow presentation. It is basically the railroad for the train. They're laying down the tracks, and then the train will be the CBDC. So it's very important for people to make that distinction if you want to sound educated. If you want to sound educated, make that distinction. Don't call FedNow the CBDC. Be right and exact. Be specific when you talk about these things. Okay, people? Now, I want to say there was another memo issued by the White House. Okay, so I have this other article here. Project Hamilton. Let me see here. Did they? No, there's no references in this, I don't think. No, there's no references in there. All right, let's come back. Let's come back. Is this? No, that's not it. That's the statement. Okay, but there is a second one. I can't remember why I linked to that. There's a second memo. There was 2 memos that the White House issued on the CBDC. And I just showed you one, and there's another one out there. But either way, the point has been made. You get what I was trying to say. And you've been warned. 202-596-5631. We're going to open up the phone lines. Let's go to Google Voice. Allow. Let's pull that out. Pause. 202-596-5631. You can call in and talk to me. I'm going to hang out for a little bit. Later today, I think 5 p.m., I will be on the line with, hold on a second. I'll be on BitBoy's channel with Scott Melker and Mark Moss. Two heavyweights and titans when it comes to this Bitcoin, crypto, finance, let's just call it fintech conversation. So that's going to be a great conversation. It's going to be some intellectual giants. I love the work from both of those guys. I was on Scott Melker's podcast in the past, and we spoke about some things. So this is going to be a very, very enlightening conversation. So you guys should probably tune in.
Call from
Jonah, what's up, man? Talk to me.
Not much. Yeah, no. Over the last whatever, like I said, the Solinsky, I looked into it this weekend, and I was like, God damn, this is all like so blatant. And you read it every 5-10 years, and you're like, oh, it's still obvious, but then you forget, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm at a point where I don't even use the left-right paradigm, because if you're right, calling yourself right, you're still like socialist,
Yeah.
It's the Bolshevik terms. So basically, once you're using that, like you're already submitting to their terms, right? And that's part of the rules for radicals, right? But
yeah.
So no, it's just crazy. Like you see all these things that are going on right now, and man, people need to look into like the people's revolution, Bolshevik revolution, and all the color revolutions, right?
Yeah.
Because this is literally what's going on right now. It's kind of funny because like you and I see it because we're like, yeah, this is just the same shit over and over, right?
Mm-hmm.
But anytime
what do you think about when I said the Riley Gaines situation was staged? Would you agree with that?
Now I don't know if you even noticed this, but why did the security guard walk her to that side hall and then throw her down the hallway?
It's a good question.
Yeah, like I used to bounce forever, so I always knew that security shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I spent 18 years working in bars as a bouncer, so it's like that. But then, why would he ever walk her down and just throw her down the hallway?
It's a good point. I mean, you can speculate and say it was done on purpose. You could also say it's lack of experience, right? So just to keep everything.
Yeah, but at the university, they're not getting like universities. At least here in Canada, they're not getting like the uneducated or whatever. They have additional training, all that shit, right?
Yeah.
So I can't say for certain in the USA, but usually they have additional all the active shooters.
Well, I think this is specialized training here, right? Just to throw the security guard some bail. This is like VIP escort training.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine that being a part of all types of training for security officers, especially somebody who's just like a flashlight cop. But I don't know the level of security of this individual. But just to throw him some bail could be lack of training, right? Just to be 100% exact here.
Yeah, but like I say here in Ontario, I know if you don't have all the additional training, you can't even go on university.
Well, what are those trainings? What are those certifications? What's in those classrooms?
Like
right?
the active pew, and then there'd be like deal with mental health issues and a whole bunch of other stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I again, what are the requirements for the university? What did the university say are the requirements of training? Right? We don't have that information. But I just want to make it clear, on my channel, I like to make the distinction between truth and speculation. And I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'd like to make sure we provide a truth.
I'm speaking from the wrong jurisdiction.
No, I mean, you could be right. It could be a setup. Like, we don't want to discount that, right?
Well, I have all the licenses, or I used to have all the licenses where I live, so I know what the requirements of here are.
Right.
So
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I appreciate you calling in, man.
Hey, let me know. You should be able to get that book too.
I have a copy, bro. I've read Rules for Radicals already. I have a copy. It's right in my phone. I just never took notes. Me and Jonah were exchanging DMs today, and he wanted me to cover Saul Alinsky Rules for Radicals. I had read it years ago, just for my own education, but I didn't make any notes in it, so I have to reread it to make notes, because I'm not gonna, you know me, anytime I do something, I gotta do it for real, so I have to make notes throughout the entire book. I'm not just gonna go off of the list, because there are things that he said in that book that are quite alarming that are not in the list of Rules for Radicals, and I want to highlight that stuff as well.
Now, we could also tie it in with HRC's thesis, right?
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
People want to find out what that is.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I appreciate you for calling. Let me get to the next caller, bro.
Yeah, no problem.
Call from
Rudy the Vet.
Rudy the Vet on the line.
Press 1.
Rudy, what's up? You on the line with Hotep Jesus? Talk to me, man.
Hey, Jay, how you doing, brother?
Life is good. Life is good. Talk to me.
I'm coming in hot today, man. I'm coming in and I'm getting out. First of all, I know there ain't no much crossover in your audience. I hope not, because if anybody out there is still listening to Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, Michael Knowles, or any of those, man, I don't even want. Don't listen to those people, man. They are evil grift, man. There's an evil grift to them, dude. Okay. Second of all, I agree with Unc, right? Where are the people at to go up there and stick up for this girl like the Nation of Islam? I like that. I like that attitude. But see, the conservative, the so-called conservative, will be scared of the optics because they don't want to be called a racist. So here, let me solve the problem for you. You go get you a bunch of corn-fed Alaskan white boys, and you go find somebody like the MAGA Hulk and a couple of those huge conservative black guys. You stick them together, go in about 25 deep, and then start protecting your speakers at these college campuses. Okay? Because they always sit back and be like, well, why weren't the cops? The cops are ran by left-wing ideologues.
That's true.
Look what just happened in Austin. You know what I'm saying? All the detectives didn't want to press charges. They cut the dude free. A man stuck an AK-47 in his face. But that man had the right politics. So stop relying on police officers thinking, oh, my God, why aren't the cops protecting? Because they're not. And as much as the Beanie Man, I listen to him sometimes because the Beanie Man is the Beanie Man. But he has a point. In Wisconsin, mob shows up at a house, lights up a guy's garage on fire. He stands in his doorway with a shotgun. The police come up. What do? Arrest the man standing in the doorway with a shotgun. You can't expect the police anymore, man. They're ran by ideologues, man. And the ones that might be like, hey, man, I love this country. They don't want to get sued. They have no heart.
That's true.
They have no heart. They're road pirates, man. They'll love to pull you over on the side of the highway and slap a ticket on you. That's what they like to do, man. They like to generate revenue for the state.
Yeah.
Stop depending on the state for your freedom. Stop depending on the state for your security. And Charlie Kirk is to blame for this because that's, like you said, from a wealthy family. He's got a good message. I agree with about 90% of what he says. But what does he do? He's too cheap to pay for his own security. Because you see this at TPUSA stuff all over the country. And then he goes on Fox News and is like, this is just atrocious. It's atrocious that we can't even go on speak on campus. Man, they just ransacked a federal judge out there in California at a law school and ran him out of there. And then the DEI lady came in there and it berated him even more. So this is what you're dealing with, so-called conservative Americans. Stop praising the state because the state has been infiltrated. If you watch the Yuri Bezmenov, not just the clips about what he says, if you watch, there's whole lectures, which I don't understand how I'm 48 years old. It took me 44 years to see any of those lectures on the internet. But if you watch, we are in pure demoralization stage. And this started in the late 60s that they infiltrated the college campuses. So you've had 30 years of left-wing ideology be able to pump the kids who have infiltrated the government, infiltrated the banks, infiltrated the corporations. It's not looking to the cops, looking to the government for help. The government is gone. It's gone. It's all left-wing ideology coursing through the veins, and I'm gonna go even more loyal to the full here.
Hold up, real fast. Hold on.
Brother. All right, I'm gonna let you go, and then I got one last thing.
No, I gotta hit the. You just spit fire. I had to hit the Don DeMarco. Go ahead, talk heavy.
All right, I'll take it. I'll take a Don DeMarco. I love it, baby. I got a Don DeMarco, baby. But listen, all right. Do you remember the outrage? Okay. Do you remember the outrage of the West Point graduate who had his hat and he had "Communism Will Win" in his hat in the photograph?
Okay.
I think it was like 2018. Okay.
Yeah, vaguely.
And they're like, "Oh, I can't believe a West Point graduate." Do you think that the left-wing ideology hasn't tainted the military academies yet? I mean, do people really believe? Did you listen to Mark Milley talk? You listen to the Air Force general out there at the Air Force Academy with the race hoax that happened a couple of years? Do you listen to these people? The ideology has been seeping into our college and higher education institutions for 30 years. You want to know how you can dead all that right now, Republicans? You have Congress. You stop paying for people's college. Why don't you turn around that Obama thing that says the government's going to pay for everybody's college and run up a bunch of debt? Stop it. Make people pay for college on their own. Make them go to banks. Make them go to get loans. Take away all state funding for these schools, period. There's no way Harvard should have a $40 billion endowment, man. And you wonder why. Wonder why, man. Take the money away, man. It's all about a dollar. Like you said, Wu-Tang, cash rules everything around me. Pull the funding. They have the Congress right now. Pull all the funding. Pull the funding for that corrupt FBI who had all those people infiltrated in January 6th. Pull the money for the corrupt FBI who set up the Gretchen Whitmer thing. 13 of the 15 people involved were FBI informants or agents. Pull the funding for the FBI that goes and sends SWAT teams to houses of protesters. And then when you watch, when they were protesting the abortion clinic, all they were doing was singing and praying. Pull the funding. Stop it. Pull the funding. Pull the funding. Pull the funding for the ATF who decides, oh, well, you know, these stocks, well, now all of a sudden we're going to make a new rule and these stocks are going to turn 10 million Americans into felons if you don't turn it. Pull the funding. Show me something. Because I'm telling you people, if they don't pull the funding or if they keep refunding this crap, they want to talk about balancing a budget. Oh, the Democrats want to raise taxes. I mean, pull the funding. Pull the funding of the Department of Education. Go watch Thomas Massey on Tim Pool when he breaks down the economics of how much money comes into D.C. Take that from the Department of Education who pushes the guidelines for all this left-wing crap. Pull the funding, and if the Republicans don't pull the funding while they have the power of the purse, they don't deserve your damn vote, people. That's all I have to say, HJ. I love you. I love Uncle Kate.
Man, you was talking spicy. I love you too, bro. I appreciate you coming to Hotep Con.
Brother, like I said, I had a rough. I'm in a trucking business, man. Let me tell you how bad this is. All right? I'm in a trucking business, man. Okay, pandemic comes along, man. I had a great gig, man, pulling in five grand a week, right? 2018, 2019. That's why, listen, I told you I was on the Trump train, and I'm telling people, look, in 2020, I'm at the port telling these dudes, please vote for Trump. They're like, wow, man, no, he's a racist. Dudes I grew up with. I went to Booker T. Washington. I went to school. Remember how the other day you were talking about how they were busting black kids in the white neighborhoods to go to school, the forced integration. Well, when I moved from Jersey to Virginia in 1986, I was in a 50-50 neighborhood 5 minutes away from a school that would have been majority white. They bust me all the way into downtown Norfolk, which, hey, listen, it made me the man I am today, man. You know what I'm saying? Made me the man I am. But there was dudes I went to school with, played ball with. We're like, man, he's a racist, man. I'm like, dog, he's not a racist. Think about your money. Think about your wallet. Think about your money. Don't vote. All they care about is money. All you need to care about is money when you vote. They wouldn't believe me. They voted for Joe Biden. By 2021, the same dudes I'm standing on the port with were like, God damn, you were right, bro. I'm like, I told you. I told you. And I say, I've lost friends. I've lost black friends because they're like, I can't vote with a Trump supporter. I'm like, dog, I told y'all. I just vote my wallet because that's all those people in D.C. care about is their wallets, man.
Right.
That's all they care about. Nothing more, nothing less.
Right.
And for all of y'all, anybody listening, HJ has a video where they show Bernie Sanders versus Ben Bernanke. If you think that anybody says anything to the Fed, you're absolutely wrong. I suggest you go back into my man's catalog and check out that video when Sanders is asking Bernanke all kinds of questions, and he looks at him and says, basically, I ain't got to tell you jack, and you know what the next word is.
Facts.
HJ, man, keep bringing truth to the people. Man, I love the show, but next year, brother, I just signed on. I got to go a year over the road truck and leave my family for a year again so I can stack up money because all the stuff coming in, there's barely anything coming into the ports. They've been dry for like 6 months, 7 months.
Yeah.
So I had to switch away. I got to leave my family again. I'll be home once a month for the next year so I can stack up my money again, man.
Well,
so
keep stacking. I'll see you there next year, and
dude,
God bless you and your
I promised
family,
you
man.
Last time I called, brother.
You did.
Last time I called, I will be at Hotep Con next year.
Yeah.
Unless I'm dead, unless God comes and claims me, I'm gonna be there, man. Because I just want to shake your hand. And I just want to see Unc in person, man. He's like a cartoon character to me, man. Hey, you tell Unc, man, he's a huggable and lovable Hotep.
Yes,
and the
sir.
other day, it was funny, Hotep. I had a load the other day. I was coming through Exton, Pennsylvania, man. I was laughing so hard.
No way. Oh, that's wild.
Yeah, I went right through Exton. And I was like, man, I wonder if I see Unc walking around here, man.
Yeah, right? That would be wild.
Hotep and Bill, my brother.
Hey,
Hotep and Bill, man. Love you, man.
Hotep and Bill, man. Love you too, bro. That's Rudy the Vet Russo, y'all. Man. That wasn't a firebomb right there. He was talking spicy. Let me get back to the super chats really fast. Jonah Ryan, the Godfather producer, was a Rand Corp programmer. Bloodline, its granddaddy crashed the U.S. National Bank. Oh, yeah, I did see that. Talking about the Bud Light kid. Jonah Ryan Janteenth was staged. All bets are off. Oh, man. Mangas, the focus on woke/trans issue is a political failure of the right wing. These stories are just rage bait, social theater, and should be ignored. You know, I can't. How many times have we said this? Unc said it on his channel. I said it here. We said it together. I'm sick of seeing the Bud Light kid on my timeline. I'm sick of seeing drag queens on my timeline. And they only there because the right put them there. It's the new grift. But, you know, that's the stories that people click on. And at the end of my video, I'm able to talk about the Federal Reserve. And I think that's the issue that everybody needs to be talking about is Fed Now and the CBDC. Daniel Hawk, Proud Boys, started out as men protecting speakers. The media and the left took them out. Conservatives didn't back them up because they are weak beta men. I saw somebody else in the chat said they should name this group Fathers for Daughters Security. Brandon Fentress said that. I like that idea. It kind of softens the image of them. So, and also like Rudy's idea where he said, bring out MAGA Hulk and a bunch of big black guys and blend them in with some white, corn huskers. I like that
Call
idea.
from
Kyle.
Kyle, you want to Lama Hotep Jesus? Talk to me, man.
Oh, man. Hey, I hardly ever get to catch you live or anything like that, so I wanted to call in while I had a chance.
Dope. Welcome.
I don't know everything you've been talking about today, but this is a little bit of your last caller, and definitely agree with a lot of the stuff that people like that are saying, but kind of at the end of the day, kind of like he was saying, hit them in their wallet. I don't want to get anybody in trouble here, like whatever, but to me, there's I think there needs to be a movement towards not making it so like you're a bad person if you don't pay the federal government.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you owe them something.
Right.
They need to provide you something. They're a business, and to get that, I tell people this, that I view income tax is like a modern day form of slavery, right?
Yeah.
You were compelled. You have to give this one. People think that that's kind of bombastic or whatever, and obviously there's different forms of slavery and all this kind of stuff. But that's to me, that's the way they've kind of moved that into people today.
Yeah.
That you need us, and you got to give this because you need us to take care of you, and that's the same mentality that slave owners put into their slaves, right? So when I look at people like Trump, I see Trump, I see these parties and things like that. The transformation that I think that needs to happen today is completely getting away from these systems that we've been
trained to protect.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I totally agree.
That's not, and to me, that's the real patriotic thing to do, not to go to war with each other over some of these cultural battles. In some of the ways, I feel like the all these different things that we see. It's like go, if that's what your community wants, go do that in your place. Like I don't even want to focus on that.
Right.
Right. Like I want to focus on the fact that we're getting, there's people out there that they're robbing us. They're robbing us. They're taking our money, and they're doing whatever they want with us, and then they're throwing all this other shit in our face. Sorry, whatever. I don't know whatever we can say on this channel, but they're throwing all this other stuff in our face to distract us from the fact that we're just getting screwed over and robbed.
Right.
When you could have your own, you own your own labor, you do whatever you want with your own resources without someone telling you what you need to do.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to.
You must be a libertarian.
I don't like to identify as any of that kind of stuff. I don't like the labels, but I mean, I guess that's what people would probably call me, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, they would definitely lead a conversation off with taxation is theft.
For sure.
Yeah.
But like, I listen to people like Trump and like some of these, I listen to I love what you do with the going into the history of case laws and going into bills and the what they're actually saying they're doing.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, I kind of like I said, I was just trying to call in like right at the minute to talk to you about this, but I guess at the end of the day, like I said, like I don't trust Trump. I don't trust anything that, like, even when I know like people say that things were good under Trump, like like my 401k was doing, like all this stuff is kind of fake, right? Like they're kind of manipulating. They're already doing what we're saying. You're worried about with like the CBDC and all that, like manipulating the value of your money, right? It's like you put your money into this 401k, and for a little bit, they lower some interest rates, so everybody gets to go out there and gamble and have some free money with the banks, and so they make everything looks like your 401k is doing good, but then they can, raise the interest rate, whatever, and people drop, things drop out, and
yeah.
To me, they, that could have all just been done under Trump to make Trump kind of look good to some people, right? To me, Trump is this character that was created by, the government or whoever you want to see, the Charlie Indigos or the Delta Indigo, whoever it is out there that's doing this stuff. He was the person this character that was created to divide, right? Like I don't even think that Trump is really in control of what he's doing as much as people think that he is. Like they think that he's off the cuff and that he's reckless. He just does whatever he wants. Like I just don't buy into any of that.
Okay.
He's still running. He's still running under the Republican Party. If he really was, he'd be independent, right? I mean, he would just say screw it, because obviously the Republican Party is not, really all that for all the things that they say that they're for as far as independence and. Well,
I mean, you can't really run as an independent.
Why couldn't he? If he's supposedly a billionaire and has all this money, he can do it. Like he has just as much money.
You wouldn't have the efficacy at the polls. There's certain like Republican infrastructures set in place to make sure that the votes come in when they're left and right or blue and red. And you pretty much, if you want to have a chance to win, you pretty much have to choose one of those because of the infrastructure they have at the ground level. Independent doesn't have that infrastructure in place.
I don't see how he couldn't have the infrastructure with his resources and like he's already.
You're asking Trump to create an infrastructure that's been created over hundreds of years in a matter of a couple of years. It's just simply not possible. I mean, you have Republican chapters all across the nation. I'd imagine tens of thousands. And, for him to do that would be quite impossible. That's the only pushback I would have. I think I get what you're saying with, Trump being an agent for those people. I don't think he's a direct agent. I think he can be an indirect agent where he's not participating. But
it's possible there's people that are around him that he just doesn't. There's obviously you have to rely on so many people that there's obviously you got a lot of his family around him that you hopefully probably trust your family, but obviously there's so many people, he's appointed so many people that Biden hasn't gotten rid of, right? Like obviously, Trump's supposedly such a bad person and putting all these terrible people in place, but like even the postal service guy, Biden hasn't even gotten rid of that guy.
Yeah.
So like obviously they're doing something that the establishment, the behind the scenes people like.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just
Trump's
decision to bring all this out.
I think there's so many different topics and policies and discussions that are just so nuanced. It's not as clear cut as black and white, like this guy's on this side. It's just like, well, in some ways we can use him for the agenda. In some ways he doesn't benefit the agenda, but we can make it work. But I get what you're saying. And I would not curb your enthusiasm to explore those type of takes.
Cool, man. I'll let you go. There's some things that were on my mind while I'm sitting here. Like I said, just again, I wanted to tell you how much I appreciate what you do. Keep doing it, and I'll keep listening.
Hey, that's love, man. Appreciate you, Brandon. Hotep and Bill. That's a good take. That's not a bad take from that guy. I would not disagree with him. I would not disagree with him. There's several things that happened during the Trump administration where people are like, "How could Trump do this?" And I'm like, I don't think you understand how much control or lack of control the White House has over certain, sectors of our nation. Anyway, Jonah Ryan, the left will always talk about COINTELPRO. They always ignore Pat Con, COINTELPRO. Never had a Charlie Indigo DOD satellite over American soil. Oh, man. I was using the phrase Janice in front of Federal Reserve yesterday, and it always a random black person, the results sent you one. Yeah, sometimes they even got, like, black bot accounts. Damn, I'm calling somebody by accident. My bad. 202-596-5631 is the call-in number. Did I cover all of those? VJ Sierra said, thanks for bringing up important topics, HJ. No doubt. I'm here Monday through Wednesday, 2 p.m. Thursday, 8 p.m. Friday, catch me over at menofwater.com with my op-ed of the day. You can go tune into that. This Friday, I'll be debating Cyprian on AI. We're going to set a time for that. So I'll be debating basically is AI evil and bad and we should stay away from it, or is AI a net good? Where are we at on the whole AI conversation? What are the dangers? So we'll have that debate this Friday. Hold on, got another caller. Kay, what up, love?
What's up? I have to give you a call on this one.
Okay, talk to me. What's on your mind?
First of all, I want to say, everybody, with everything that's going on right now, go ahead and go out and get your master focus. It's going to keep your mind focused, and it's going to keep you ready to deal with everything that's happening now and things that are yet to come. So, master focus.
I got to get you an affiliate link. Remind me to get you in the affiliate program. Try masterfocus.com. You heard that, woman. I appreciate you.
Thank you. And I just wanted to say that my son and I, over the weekend, and then when it came out on Wednesday, we went to go see the Super Mario movie.
Okay. Talk to me about that.
So, I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but it's a good movie for adults as well as children, because you will see some nostalgic references. And you'll also, and then your kids will see the more kind of recent references to Mario and all about that. And it's all about helping each other, too, as well. There's, I didn't see anything, like you said, they kind of nixed the wokeness and all that stuff. So it's about learning to kind of work together, I personally thought, and well, putting it in a Nintendo-type vibe that you see in all of the video games. And it was like they didn't change it. I'm so glad that Shigeru Miyamoto was a producer on this. Unfortunately, he was not on the 1993 one, so hence that's why it ended up the way that it did. But I'm thankful that they just said, no, this is the way that it's going to go, and you guys aren't going to change it or else we're out.
Yeah, no, I'm so happy Japan was involved in this, because they would have ruined good culture. And I like what you said. You said it's about working together, etc. That's what people need to see. You know, that's the type of propaganda I'd like to see.
And see, and it stays true to like everything that's going on right now, like the divisiveness, you know, you have the left and right and all this stuff. And it's like, okay, what would happen if, you know, both of them started to come together instead of for their personal gain and their financial interest with, it doesn't matter who they destroy. What about turning around and thinking of the people and thinking of the future? You know, kind of what would happen if they did that, but of course they're not going to think of that. And kind of segmenting into that with the Dalai Lama, if a lot of these people, because I grew up in Los Angeles, if a lot of these people knew about their politicians and their Hollywood superstars and some of their singers, what they do behind the scenes, a lot of people would not be cheering for them.
Big facts. Big facts. Ain't that the truth?
And with the just with the financial thing, and I've told you this before, I'm looking to try to find an alternative form, because everything that's going on, they're pushing towards it hardcore, and it doesn't matter what side. I just feel like the right still brings us to that area. They just bring us slower, but you know, on the left, it's just basically the bullet train to hell. And with the thing with the woke agenda, with the beer and this, you know, Dylan person and all that stuff, it's like, how dare you? You know, with all the women out there, and I'm sorry, I'm not cisgendered. No, I'm a woman. So don't give me that crap. I am a woman. I've had my kids. I've had to experience things that they will never have to experience in life. And so it's like, don't tell me how to be a woman, because primero, you are not a woman. Segundo, you will never be. But that's just my opinion.
Talk spicy. Oh man, like I said before, I think these are anti-woman agendas. We see that with the Bud Light kid, like you just mentioned, and what we saw this weekend with Miss Gaines. They purport to protect women, but they do just the opposite.
And here's the dark side, is they're focusing on the youth. And me being, you know, the job that I was in and the job that I still am currently in, is like youth are so, their minds are still mush. So they're still trying to learn about themselves. They're trying to learn things. They are highly influenced by entertainment and everything and their surroundings. So putting this out there is just going to confuse their minds even more. And the thing is they don't care. All they want is robots to basically push their agenda. They don't want free-thinking individuals. They don't want men or women to grow up as free-thinking individuals. As long as they could get money off of, how would you say, deforming your mind, they're going to do it. Because most of them, their kids, if they do have any kids, they will not let them, you know, be privy to this. They won't let them know anything about this. You know, it's kind of shielded from them. But it's like, it's
well, they're the
hard
targets.
It's hard for middle-class people and people that are not privy to what's going on. And, you know, a lot of people, you know, took television as the gospel truth, because at one time there was actually something called journalism back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah. I got a video. I have a video out now, clips on the internet about the destruction that TV wreaks havoc on the public with. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. And I mean, if you want to get scientific with it, the frequency waves of, music, television, all that stuff, I mean, that's another rabbit hole within itself.
Hey, you start talking about 5G towers. I was near a 5G tower this weekend. I was like, should I duck? Or what am I supposed to do? But you're right.
And this brings me into too as well, the Hotep Nation Homeschool Initiative is a wonderful thing. And if you are able to homeschool your children, I want everybody to look into it.
Dope. I appreciate that. Absolutely. Yeah. HotepNation.com. If you guys want to support what we do, you can make donations at HotepNation.com. We are a nonprofit organization. I appreciate the shout outs. That's a lot of love there, Kay.
Thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and get back to work, but I just wanted to give you a call.
I love. See you at Hotep Con.
Hotep and Bill.
Hotep and Bill.
Thank
Man. Fire. That woman got fire for y'all. Jonah Ryan, Reese Committee confirms attack on individualism. Oh, yeah. Days of Noah on YouTube has videos on media manipulation, teen, college, age, youth. Interesting. Days of Noah. Okay. It's a good little drop there. Let me see what's going on Rumble before I get out of here. Shout out to my Rumblers. EMP 1990. Z Origin. Got a nice little following over here. We're Hotep TV on Rumble. So if you don't see me here, it might be on Rumble. Hotep TV. Make sure y'all go subscribe on Rumble. That's the outlet for free speech. Apparently that's the new YouTube for free speech. So you can guys catch us. Uncle Hotep, myself, Canon Hotep, all on Hotep TV. Hotep Con tickets on sale right now, HotepNation.com. Let me go see what the timer is at. I might have to reset the timer because I think the prices just went up. Let me see. Yeah, I gotta reset the clock. Let me reset the clock on this so you guys can go get your tickets. Use coupon code Hotep Jesus to get 10% off your Hotep Con tickets. It's gonna be a wonderful, wonderful time. Lots of fun. We spent a lot of time with you guys. It's not the whole hey, you come watch us speak and we disappear thing. We're gonna come kick it, have drinks, sit by the pool, like really, really chop it up, like for hours. Just hang out. It feels like a family reunion. I'm usually out and about with our attendees pretty much all day, all night until my battery runs out. Some of you guys like to go do the nightlife thing or travel, and I might participate in some of those extracurricular activities outside of our program. Last year we did a little nightclub thing. Kim Klasick was there. She was dancing up a storm. Uncle Hotep was doing this little hip hop two-step. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun last year. So I hope to see you guys there. HotepNation.com. Go get your tickets. Use coupon code Hotep Jesus for 10% off. I enjoyed today's presentation and today's stream. Hit the subscribe button if it's your first time watching. Hit the subscribe button.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Hotep Jesus? I love that guy. He's terrific.
Also, don't forget my focus pills, my focus capsules, Master Focus. Try masterfocus.com. That's the thing that keeps me motivated, and it's the thing that keeps my dopamine levels in order. Some people have unhealthy ways to get their dopamine drip, their dopamine hits. And this is a healthy way to just basically restore balance to your mind and really get that dopamine that puts you in a good mood and makes you want to work, makes you want to come to YouTube and stream every day. It's going to just boost your productivity is the promise that we like to make. I know some people say, hey, you know, I tried it, but it didn't do anything for me. And I'm just like, well, are you a productive individual? Because if you're going to use the product and just sit on the couch, you probably might not find any benefit. Unless you're playing video games, you might find you're more focused on your video games, et cetera, et cetera. But if you're not using your brain for something, you might not find a benefit from this product. So this is for people that are looking to be more productive, juice more hours out of their day, stay focused, stay on task, clear out some of that brain fog. You know, a lot of people resort to coffee or things like that to get over the hump. And we don't want to take away your coffee. As you can see, I had Starbucks today, right? And we don't want to take away from that. We want to add to that. So if you have your coffee, this also is going to, because coffee itself is a nootropic. So what Master Focus is, it's a nootropic. So these are just different types of nootropic. So those things working in conjunction can also help as well. Somebody in the chat is asking for a link. TriMasterFocus.com. That's the link right there, TriMasterFocus.com. And go read up on the product. I had somebody, they posted another product, and they said it's cheaper and it gets the job done. And then I don't want to mention the product for legal purposes or whatever. And I went and looked, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is like some cheap version or whatever. But their package had 30 capsules. Mine had 90. Our Master Focus is 90 capsules. This is a 30-day supply. So their 30-day supply is different from our 30-day supply, I guess. But also, when you look at their ingredients, they're filling their capsules with things like rice filler and, you know, just junk ingredients. And we don't do that. It's 100% nature. It's 100% nature. There's no fillers in our capsules whatsoever. So you get nothing but the best. And that's why it's a premium price product, because, well, we give you a superior product. So, yeah, TriMasterFocus.com. I'm Hotep Jesus, and I'll see you guys next time. Hotep and Bill.
Didn't listen to me then, I bet they feel me now. Time don't let me lose it. The booth not about to prove it. I set goals and pursue it. You the best to never do it. Invest my money talking fluent, stupid, ducking the Judas. It broke my heart, but open my eyes. You have no honor, I have no choice. Chasing the commas till I'm gone. I've been left for a minute. On my way home, mama, I promise, got caught up in it. Damn. Everybody eats when I'm batting at the plate. First, second, third, home, $1 million babe. Didn't
Hotep and Bill.